Hey, Cordy.
Hey, Jackson.
What you doing?
Well, you know, we just got the grip and all the fundamentals down, and we got my golf swing kind of a few points dialed in, so I thought I'd just sit here today for the off-season project and just show everybody how to hit about 500 golf balls in a row.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Why don't we go over there?
And hit some wedges.
Let's start over there.
Here's the deal. No matter how many golf balls you hit, when you get started playing again after some time off, you might miss a green. I might miss a green when we go play.
Correct.
So let's go over, we're gonna spend a bit of time today looking at technique with some wedge shots, just kind of go over that, and then we've got a couple games to get you dialed in so when you come and start your season, you're ready to go. Let's over there, Jackson.
Good idea.
So I feel like my wedge game is typically pretty good.
Okay.
I'm probably not the best, but I'm competent.
Sure.
Where do you want to get started here?
I think if we're gonna start from the off season, I'd go with a basic chipping template.
Okay.
Now that's the one time I'm probably thankful and looking for a flat lie like you see on the range, not like you would experience on the course. So we'll just hit a couple easy chips to maybe your first pin from a flat lie.
Okay.
What club do you have?
I grabbed the 60.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit, this is kind of maybe a lower bump and run.
Sure. So if you had to walk me through what you do for chips,
Yep.
just a basic chip, what do you do and how do you do it?
So on the low shot, I would just say probably towards the back of my stance, a little bit open.
Okay.
60-40 weight on the front.
Sure.
And then kind of keep that angle and just the basic kind of old school. That's what I learned growing up, right? And I really just haven't gone away from it.
All right, so I think if I was talking about a basic kind of stock chipping template, right? I would say exactly what you've done. Feet are narrow, ball position's back, your weight's gonna go forward, and then kind of that, you said keep the angle, keep the hands in front of the club head, I assume is kind of what you meant. A gentle turn through, like nothing crazy to think about, right?
Totally.
So I would start there and just make sure you can manage contact or the low point, right? And if you can do that, then we can grow the motion into your pitching, into your wedges, and into your full swing. And you see that ball position there for you is actually more middle.
It is, yeah.
Right, so I would keep on going further back, weights gently forward, good. And this is just a stock chip, right? Like, because obviously on the course you're gonna get different lies, you're gonna get a bunch of different slopes, you're gonna have to land it on different distances and maybe over some slopes or before some slopes and all this different stuff.
I would recommend people do this because those two shots I hit felt a little better with it farther back, and I just didn't realize that it was maybe towards the middle.
Ball's back and your weight's forward, really easy for you to make good contact, hit ball first, down into the ground, which is all you're looking for in a chip.
Awesome. Should we look at like a bit of a flop shot, a bit of a something like that, a little bit higher?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to your 60 then.
Okay.
And now same distance-ish, right?
Yep.
So what's something you would do differently?
So I would go a little bit forward.
Okay.
Forward in the stance.
Sure.
Weight still kind of forward and just open up the blade a little bit.
Okay.
Let's just see. I'm doing this all on feel, honestly. I don't know if I have a blueprint for this. That worked out.
Does anything different change with your motion?
Yeah, I'm not maintaining that angle, right? I'm kind of trying to let the hands go by a little bit, maybe.
Now I think
I saw like a wry smile there, so I'm looking forward to what's coming next.
I've been privileged to see enough of your game recently, right?
Yep.
And I think with your wedges in particular, I see a little bit too much or an excessive amount of, you could call it release, or where that club head passes your hands.
Yep.
Right, and I think understanding when I've got that chip, right? So actually go ahead and stand in front of me, I'll show you. So I like to keep this as kind of one unit, right? From this like fulcrum point and then straight down the arm to the club head. So when you have that ball position back, that's when you're gonna have some forward shaft lean, right? The hands kind of staying in front of the club head, but notice how there's no angle there. And then when I move that ball position forward, it's still kind of a straight line, but it's not, there's no shaft lean, so my hands would be a little more neutral. So that alone is going to influence the loft. And then I can open the club face a little bit. Now I've changed loft a bunch, right? Just by those two simple setup keys or setup changes. And then I can make almost the same motion from there. Now you can do more with your technique later, but I think starting out from scratch, keeping the motion similar or constant is a little bit easier. And still, it's still way higher and softer than the original chip. Okay. So ball forward. We're gonna keep those hands neutral. Yeah, good. Now that same motion through the ball.
There you go. Oh, that was easier. That was way easier. Good. That was impressive too. There was way less work that I had to do.
Yes.
With that shot.
It's just the idea, if I'm gonna set up with it back, I'm just kind of returning it there. Yeah. And then the same thing when that ball goes forward, I'm just gonna return it there as well. Perfect. And I think this would be a stock, right, template to begin. Yep. You can do a ton more with how you pivot through and how you use your arms, maybe a little bit of release using the bounce versus the leading edge going through the turf to really kind of diversify your portfolio, right, with the short game. Yep. That's obviously why I'm a golf coach, not in finance. No,
but you're right, you got to start simple. And like those two feels right now, these two feels are very, very simple, and you could pull them off. Mm-hmm. You know, you can see that wasn't very good, but I haven't like sculled any of these where when I get the hands involved and let's say you get a little sketchy lie and you're going, you know, there you go. That was a good example.
Perfect.
Great demonstration. It gets easier to do that, right?
Sure.
So I like that. It's simple and you minimize the double bogey. And
the thing I like about starting with this hands back just a little more neutral, good. Perfect.
There's a skull.
Here's a little zipper, right in the hole. Oh. Ah. So the reason I like doing this, okay, so if you do this with your 60, you can do the same thing with your sand wedge, same thing with your gap wedge, and you already have, what's that, 2, 4, 6 different shots that are gonna be a little bit different trajectories, they're gonna have different landing zones, and you've already been able to apply a bunch of different shots that you'll use on the golf course.
All right, let's dive into 2 games. Obviously I need some help figuring out how to take this to the course. Yes. We've got the technique, now it's just putting in some good practice. Perfect. So let's get into it. All right, Jackson, so you've got some alignment sticks out here on the green, about 5, 6 feet apart right now.
3 paces about.
What's our game?
Landing zones, right? You call it the ladder drill. So the way I would like to start is with your lowest lofted wedge that you like to use around the green. So what do you have?
Gap wedge here.
Gap wedge. So we're gonna start with that low shot, kind of that stock chip. So the ball's back, weight's forward. You have to make good contact.
Okay.
And you've got to land the golf ball in between these first 2 sticks. Pretty good.
All right.
All right, now we don't care where it rolls out to.
Okay.
And if you do that successfully, then you go on to the next one.
I like this a lot because I know for me, when I come back from, you know, any time off, like envisioning shots and like figuring out landing points is very difficult at first.
Just because we're coming back from the off season, and we're working on short game and all this technique stuff, I think there still needs to be a focus on how you would take it to the course, right? Just like you said, imagining those landing spots, kind of getting you back into the random practice. Yeah, so I would start with like the short ones, and then you go on to the higher shot. And once you go through this, then you would just go up to the sand wedge and then your lob wedge.
Awesome.
And obviously you can make it more difficult by how many alignment sticks you put out there and the distance apart. Right? Or you could play a game where if you miss a shot, right, if you don't get it in there, you have to start over.
That would be annoying.
Yeah. So just challenging yourself.
That's some good challenge.
That's good.
There we go. Okay, so then I'd go down to the sand wedge and the 60 degree. I like this a lot. I think it, one, I like having this in here. I think I would maybe kind of randomize it, not use it every time. But I think this is really good feedback because ball position also coming back from the off season. It's just like, for some reason, it's tough to feel where the ball is in your stance.
Yeah.
So I think this is some really good feedback to have for folks.
Yeah, really good.
Cool. So maybe I'll hop over here and do it without one.
Very good.
All right. I think the challenge of this, we could maybe do them a bit tighter.
Yeah.
But I think getting started, start 5-6 feet sounds good to me.
You can work your way up and down the ladder as well.
Let's finish up with the high 60.
Okay.
We'll ramp up the challenge here.
Sure.
That was a good one. I think I like that we're doing high and low shots as well. I think it is challenging us in the right places. It's a good, simple, easy drill. Anybody can go knock out.
And if you don't have alignment sticks, you can use your own club.
Yeah.
You know, clubs. But I would recommend getting some alignment sticks because you can use them across the rest of your game.
Absolutely. All right, game number one. Let's dive into the second one. All right, Jackson, we've got another game. This one is one of your favorites.
It is.
What do you got?
So we have 9 pins,
Okay.
and you have 3 clubs that you typically use around the green.
Yep.
So we're gonna hit 1 ball to each pin with each club.
So I've got a gap wedge.
Correct. So we're gonna start with the lowest club,
Yep.
right? And you're just gonna kind of go through your routine and hit this shot. Then right away, you're gonna switch to your sand wedge.
Okay.
Okay? And go through your routine again, just like you would on course.
I didn't do it the first time, so good comment there. So we've done our first drill, we've worked on landing point, right? So this is a great, like, this progression is perfect. Because now I can think sand wedge, okay, if I'm gonna hit that low shot, I think I should land it right there. And now I'm trying to get that feel. Let's see if we can do that. I hit my landing spot. I just chose maybe the wrong landing spot. A little bit long. It's not too bad though. Let's go 60 degree now. I'm gonna hit that same low shot. I'm gonna pick kind of the same landing point.
I'm gonna pick on you.
That wasn't good.
The only thing I would do differently with this drill, if this is gonna be practice for the course, I would not give you a preferred lie every time.
Perfect.
So I would maybe bounce them up or toss 3 balls down, so wherever they land.
Was I just naturally doing this and getting,
So that's what I would do to make it even more course-like.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, first of all, and they're not bad, but they're not great. Didn't hit my landing spots on some.
Okay.
Let's go, you know, forcing you to go through the routine.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest part, you know, personally that I feel when coming off any time off is this goes first.
Yeah.
This idea of like, wait, how, you know, where's my landing spot for a 60 degree that I'm hitting a bump and run to this kind of pin? Like
Or you feel, right?
you just forget, it seems like. So I think these 2 drills, and honestly in this progression of back to back is perfect.
Yeah, and one thing that I really enjoy about this drill is then if you do it for 30 minutes or an hour, you'll hit 100 different shots, and then you'll be able to notice, okay, I'm bad out of these lies, I struggle with this distance shot, or I struggle with this club. And then we would start to work more on that specific shot or that club rather than the overall technique, right?
I'm gonna give this flag one more go. Okay. I'm gonna really change it up. I'm gonna hit the high shot now with each club and just kind of figure that out.
I mean, these lies are gonna be great, right? Regardless because of this grass, but It might change it just a little bit. Those 3 are perfect. It didn't, but.
There's not many bad lies around here, we'll tell you that. All right, so wait for it. I got my landing spot. Ooh, a little strange contact, but
Okay.
worked out. We used the bounce, the club there on that one. Okay, landing spot there. I mean, I really missed that. I just missed the landing spot. Not hard to realize what your problem is there. I think these high shots are the first ones to go, for sure as well.
A little better. Contact was better.
Contact was better and almost there.
Okay.
I got a lot of work to do, obviously, but that's why we're here.
That's right.
We're hanging out at Frederica Golf Club. It's awesome to be here for this time that we're hanging out and working on the game. So next time on the off-season project, we're gonna head to one of your favorite spots, which is the putting green.
I love it.
To dive into putting. Jackson loves his putting. So let's get to that. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to hear what you think about these games, how this helps your off-season project. Thanks for watching.